Hi, we're going to be talking about how to pin. So I have 2 squares of fabric and say I needed to sew these together to make a rectangle. I would pin it together first to hold the fabric when I took it to my sewing machine. And I would pin it together with these pins. So I'm going to show you a video on how to pin. 99% of the time when you're sewing, you're going to be putting your fabric together with these pretty sides together. The correct term for that is the right sides. So the right sides are going to go together. That means the pretty sides. See, there's not really anything on the back of this. So to pin, I would match up the edges of my fabric that are going to be sewn together. I then would grab one of my pins, and I'm going to put my pin in to hold this in place. And I'm not going to pin so that it's parallel to the edge that's being sewn. I'm going to put my pin in so that it is perpendicular to the edge being sewn. The reason being is when I go to my sewing machine and I'm stitching down this line, it's a lot easier to pull out pins that are like this than pins that are like this. So to pin my fabric, I'm going to take with my fingers, lift up the edge of the fabric a little bit. This is so that I can poke my pin through without poking the table underneath. I'm going to poke my pin through both layers, and then it's kind of like I'm hand sewing, but I'm going to poke it back up in place, and then that holds that together. And so I'm going to do another pin down here to hold more in place. So I lift up my fabric a little bit, I poke my pin through, poke it back up, make sure it's flat, and then I have my pin. And then as I was sewing, before I got to the pin, I would pull out my pin so I didn't sew over it, and it would hold my fabric in place until it was sewn.